Jalen.
Oh, no. Hey, Cole, how you doing? How retirement treating you?
It's great, man. It's great. Just, you know, a little writing, a little investing.
Nice. So I don't know if you saw the thing on Twitter about your statue.
You know, I don't pay attention to that stuff.
Yeah, I figured that. Me either.
A drink, Mr. Bryant?
Yeah, I'll have a vodka martini.
How many olives would you like?
81.
Really?
Nah, man, I'm just playing. Just 2. Joke for him. He gets it.
Trying to get his team on the lead.
And up ahead to Siva. And the attack by Harrell. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, Louisville comes from 12 down to take the lead. It's first of the night. 8 seconds to go in the half. Albrecht driving in. Gives it up. And a push foul called on Louisville with 2.5 seconds to go in the half. It's called on Blackshear.
A blitzkrieg by the Cardinals, and this is the tail end of it. Montrezl Harrell wrecking that rim. Beautiful pass by Siva off a turnover. And boy, it didn't take long, guys.
No.
About
Daniels one-on-one mode. Has a smaller man on him. Rozier. Cody Zeller offensive rebound. Bridges. Oh my God! Oh, a thunderbolt.
This is what we want to see. Look at Miles Bridges attack the shot blocker, and look at LaMelo. Oh my word! Just walk all over.
Oh, man.
Oh, come on.
That's on Capella.
Yeah.
That is on one of the fiercest defenders in the league.
As a shot blocker, yeah, you're going to try to go after everything. It's going to happen. But at some point, you got.
Samuel came close to a game-ending interception. Well, that's about as demonstrative as you're going to see Eli Manning. Pressure from Thomas off the edge. Eli Manning stays on his feet. Airs it out down the field. It is caught by Tyree. Inside the 25 and a timeout taken.
BetOnline remains your #1 source for all your sports betting this season. Everything from NFL playoffs to pro, college basketball, UFC, MMA, and more. You'll always find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. With live betting options, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable, BetOnline is truly the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite leagues and events. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure to use that promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, to receive your rewards. BetOnline.ag, where the game starts.
Tell them the noise make exception.
Popcorn world.
Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this groove in the back of a can. You can make it round the world and the holes in your hand. Popcorn world. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Popcorn world. Popcorn world. Popcorn world. It's a popcorn world. It's a popcorn world.
You're now listening to the Brothers of the Five. At shooting guard, it's your boy, Killer Cam. At small forward, it's Reggie Love. At point guard, Steve Major. At power forward, I'll be. And at center, Mr. Noise, Lloyd Spence. And now, the Brothers of the Five.
Add one more plus me and do the
What's up, everybody? What's up? We are doing it again the live way. We don't often get a chance to come on these days live, but we got a chance to come on tonight because of all of the special circumstances of championship Sunday and Saturday or division rounds Saturday and Sunday. And so we decided to jump on this Monday for you, man. I hope y'all appreciate it. That's C Major over there, our producer and journalist extraordinaire. That is the incomparable Reggie Love right there. I'm Mr. Noise, aka Lloyd Spence. I'm glad to be here with you. What a 2 weekends. We haven't been here for 2 weekends. So what a 2 weekends we've had. And man, it's not a surprising outcome, but the way we got here was surprising. And I don't know a better way to start. And this is and I want to say this before I do this. This is not a knock on our brother Chad Major, because he has become, with our assistance, I might add, a very balanced and measured Cowboy fan. However, well, okay, he's better than what he was, Reggie. He's better than okay, all right. However, there are those Cowboy fans that are still acting like Cowboy fans. And of course, we have something prepared for you.
How do? Got something for you. Scared to kick, throwing picks, and y'all ain't win since 96, but y'all still them boys. Hold up, I said, scared to kick, throwing picks, and y'all ain't win since 96, but y'all still them boys. Hold up, question. Y'all still them boys? That's a rhetorical question. No! Ooh, y'all ain't them boys. Ooh, y'all ain't them boys. No, y'all ain't them boys. Dak Prescott out there looking like Roscoe Pico trained by the arm. Oprah Winfrey. You get a pick. You get a pick. Everybody gets a pick.
Final play, looks like barring a penalty. Prescott over the middle of the turf, gets smoked right away, and that'll do it, the 49er. And on the last play, Cowboys needed a miracle. Didn't have it on this thing.
We didn't have type of time to put Giants highlights together. It was too many. But it was way too many.
It need to be an equal opportunity show, man.
No, it's not about. But see, this is not about the Cowboy team. This is just about the fandom. Okay, it's a little bit about the team. It's a little bit about the team.
See, it's biased, man. It's biased.
Let's go to question number one. We actually going to start with in the NFC, break that down since we already here. The thing that blows my mind about the Cowboys, it's not
hold
that
on. You got to start in order of games. You got to talk about the Giants first. You can't just go in on the Cowboys.
Well, we already started with the Cowboys. So let's start there. The thing that blows my mind about the Cowboys is not that they lose, because losing would be fine. Everybody can accept losing, and I think if they just lost the game, we would have a different conversation to start. We'd be like, man, listen. And there's a lot of great positive things to take away from that game, but only the Cowboys can lose in the spectacular fashion that they tend to lose. They don't just lose; they lose with flair and Oscar-worthy activity.
Twice.
That last 2 minutes was fantastically disastrous. It could not have gone worse if they tried. So I just don't understand the why of that. Like, why does it always have to be so newsworthy at the end? The play we just showed, which was the final play of the game, I have never in the 48 years of my life, soon to be 49, seen anything like that. That was unbelievable. And the great Jimmy Johnson, who doesn't tweet a lot, tweeted out one word: dumb. So, I don't know, man. Cowboys are amazing to me. They just are absolutely amazing to me. Reggie, Chad?
I mean, I'm staying quiet because you asked Chad the question, so I'm just.
I did.
I'm being quiet.
See, Reggie's being quiet, Chad. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
I mean, where do I start? Goodness gracious! I mean, this is the second year in a row that ending was stupid and dumb. So it's just like, when is enough at this point? And just, I don't know.
Who do you blame, Chad? Who do you blame?
Jerry Jones. I blame Jerry Jones because you got to go to the top of the head first. I blame him for giving them that $40 million after last year, and then I blame him for still trusting McCarthy to get it right. Wait, I'm not done yet. Hold on.
Don't forget about Amari.
I'm not done yet. Hold on now. Hold on.
And don't forget about. Oh, my bad.
Don't forget about Kellen Moore. Don't forget about Ezekiel Elliott, the Amari trade. I mean, Dak can't read a defense.
Man,
throwing picks.
Go ahead, Lloyd.
I was gonna say they came in according to Mike Tannenbaum, and a bunch of people like Mike Tannenbaum. They're the highest scoring offense since Dak has returned.
That is the most dumbest thing I've ever heard because that's just masquerading the fact that we still have a problem. Just because they score points doesn't mean it. I hate when people say highest scoring because it's just fools go. If you look at the field, I mean, yes, they score points because they have talented players, but I mean, it's I don't know, man. I think Kellen Moore has to go first. If you're gonna keep Mike McCarthy, Kellen Moore has to go. We need to have a new philosophy on that end of the ball. And I mean, I think I'm gonna give Dak and McCarthy one more year. After that,
okay.
I don't know.
Well, y'all might have
the
trouble.
defense. The
Y'all
defense played.
Y'all might not have y'all defensive coordinator next year.
I mean, at times he played like he was trying to get out of there too. So he coached like he was trying to get.
Well, he was interviewing Saturday, so
yeah. So if you don't want Michael Parsons to rush, know what got you there, rushing, the passer, and he was in coverage a lot of times. I mean,
no, I actually think the defense played.
No, they did play. They played great because the offense stunk it up. I mean, you don't have Ty. You got Ty, and you don't use them. I mean, I think maybe everything went downhill when Tony Pollard got hurt, but still, you got to have a backup plan.
But but that's not surprising though, because Tony. We've said that on this show all season long. Tony Pollard is the best offensive weapon you have. So true. You can't remove that from the equation and expect them to function at the same level. So I get that part.
Yeah, but I think they got a lot of tough decisions to make next year,
and we have to give San Francisco's O-line some credit here, because if you notice, here's the thing about the 49ers coach. My great, what's his last name? Shanahan.
Yeah.
Shanahan runs the ball until he gets to the Super Bowl. He runs.
That's when it all stops, right?
He's gonna run the ball. And I got to give him credit. He kept pounding that ball until you look at that last drive. Man, the defense was tired.
Yeah.
And you notice that McCaffrey popped one for 7, 8. Then the backup running back, which he kept hitting,
he was
7 yards, 8 yards, 8 yards, and you can tell when you're sticking. I got to give Shanahan the credit. When you stick into the game plan and said, "Hey, I'm not going to divert and I'm going to run this ball," and that's what he did. And that last drive, it just came up. The defense was on the field too long. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But that's because of the offense. The offense couldn't get anything done, man.
I don't deny that. But I'll say this. It's not as bad as Cowboy fans would like to make it today.
Yeah, I say that too.
I think a lot of people were saying the house is on fire, fire everybody. I get it, Cowboy fan. That's what y'all do. Y'all overreact. It's not as bad as you think it is. Now, are you boxed in some areas that you need to figure out what you're going to do? Yes. I would have a conversation with both Dak, specifically with Dak, and say, hey, man, can we restructure this thing so we can get you some help? Because I think he needs some help. So there's a couple of truths that we got to realize today. Number one, Dak is not elite, and that's not shade. That's just reality. He's not elite. He's the kind of player that needs to have some other players around him to make it all work, and he didn't have that. CeeDee Lamb was great, despite the fact that he was catching double teams the entire game. CeeDee Lamb was great, but Ezekiel Elliott is not great. He's just not. 2.6 yards per carry ain't gonna get it done
at all.
And go ahead, Reggie.
I'm saying that, but man, let's talk about San Francisco's defense. They were flying everywhere.
Oh, they were brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the kid? 50? Is it 54? The linebacker? It was. What is the kid's name? it was a chess match with Dak. I really think that I believe San Francisco is probably one of the toughest defense they faced all year.
Oh, they've only given up 70. They give up no more than 70 yards total rushing per game.
Right.
The Cowboys had 76.
And
so
they're
good. They're good.
And let's be honest, Philly better put their big boy shorts on too, because they got to face that defense.
Right.
And I'm not saying that I think San Fran is going to beat Philly or vice versa, but you got to give the credit to San Francisco. I think before the Cowboys fans knock the offense, just knock them completely off the wall. You got to give credit to San Francisco. Man, that San Francisco defensive coordinator is probably going to interview for 30 jobs. I don't know, but I know 5 jobs are opening, but he's going to interview. And man, he had that defense flying to the ball. Mm-hmm. I mean, they were everywhere. It seemed like it was 5 people. One guy played 5 positions. And I mean, I think, to be honest with you, if Dallas would have played anybody else but San Francisco, maybe another 1 or 2 teams, they probably would have won the game. San Francisco was not. I just think that defense really just gave them all they wanted plus some.
Yeah, even that, we still had opportunities to win the game because we had a lot of mistakes as far as Trayvon Diggs didn't catch the ball that one time when he had the clear interception, and another guy, I forgot, somebody else had a clear interception that they were supposed to catch, and then that one where Turpin ran it back, he could have went to the house and he ran into somebody. So we had chances to win the game. It's just I feel like Kellen Moore's days should be numbered, bro. I think
I keep hearing that, but I don't know what he did wrong.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Because we can say Dallas made some mistakes, but San Francisco made some mistakes on offense that could have beat you by 21. We can say everybody has plays that they miss on both sides. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I'm like, Lord, I don't think we should jump the gun so far on Kellen Moore in that offense because, if you want to say, okay, we shouldn't have gave away Amari Cooper, and maybe we should have had another number 1, number 2 receiver. I would say that, but I wouldn't say, and like I said, I'm not a Dallas hater or I'm not a Dallas lover. I'm right there in the middle, but I'm being honest with you. I don't think Kellen Moore did a bad job. I really don't. I just think they.
I don't know.
Let me say this. Yesterday, Dak messed up bad.
Yeah.
Like those interceptions were bad. And if we're being perfectly honest, he should have thrown 4 interceptions instead of 2. Because there were 2 that just got dropped and he got saved on those. But they were bad. They were bad reads, they were bad throws. They were late throws. So you gotta blame, if you're gonna blame somebody, blame him for that. Now, Dak doesn't want to run. I mean, let's just call it what it is. There are opportunities for green grass, and Dak don't want to run.
Right.
And I get it, man. If you've broken your leg running, doing something that you're not really comfortable with doing anyway, you're gonna be hesitant to do it again. Right. So I get it, man. I understand the psychological part of where Dak is. Dak saying, I don't have to run. I'm a pocket passer. I understand how to make the reads. And he is, by and large, a pocket passer. So I get the frustration that he had. But I do think, like Reggie said, San Francisco is a great defense. They are the number 1 run defense in the league. And they're in the top, I think, 5 or 10 or whatever in pass defense. So they're not a slouch team, man. They're a really, really good team. And it's the best defense outside of Philadelphia that Dallas has played all season long. So I think you just ran into the wrong matchup.
Right.
I get what y'all saying.
You didn't have the weapons you needed to beat that team. I think it was just that simple.
Yeah, I mean, San Francisco is a great team. We had both years, close losses to them. But I just feel like, the game could have been won as far as Dak not playing up to the level that everybody set to him, and plus some of those before the game, they're saying San Francisco was not good at play action pass. This is what I'm talking about. Kellen Moore. It was not good at play action pass. I didn't see a lot of play action passes that were designed to be done, and that's what I'm saying as far as Kellen Moore. As far as
but that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's comfortable in. Listen, while he should have more play action pass, his athleticism says you would be better in RPOs and play action passes than you are just standing in the pocket. His athleticism does say that. But if the player doesn't trust that within himself, you can't ask him to do something that he doesn't trust. Or, here's the other side, you don't have the right guy.
He's not good enough to be one-dimensional.
That's the thing that Dallas is going to have to figure out. Do we truly have the right guy at that position?
And I don't think at this time we do, because he can't be one-dimensional. I mean, he's not good enough to be one-dimensional at this point.
Well, he is if you put the right pieces around him, though. Go ahead, Red. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I'm agreeing with you. We could easily say, would you put Geno in a different system and see how he strives. If you never know if it's system or the right players around you. I can't blame it. Now, yes, Dak has issues sometimes. To me, it's not Dak has a problem being consistent. Because we can say, okay, he doesn't read defense, but sometimes he has a command of that offense and he's rolling. So the thing is for me is, okay, Dak is a good quarterback, but he's not. He's good. He could be great if he was consistent. We've seen some games in which we're like, man, Dak is that man. Then we seen some games like yesterday, like Dak is not that man. We saw Tampa Bay and we saw San Francisco.
Yeah.
Prime example. But to me, I go back to San Fran's defense. For some reason, I just go back to that because they had so much confidence in their defense. They said, you know what? Y'all can stop McCaffrey to 1 and 2 yards. We're going to punt it back to you guys, and we're just going to play defense.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, Dallas did have a drive. They took like 8 minutes off the clock and scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
They
did a lot of things right, Reggie. I agree with you. Yeah. We're being silly about some of this, but the reality is Dallas did a lot of things right. But San Francisco's defense and offense dominated the game. Right. Like they kind of dominated it. I mean, they did a lot of things. They were methodical. And one thing that you can say about Brock Purdy, he took what was given to him. He didn't try to do too much. He just said, I'm gonna play within myself. I'm gonna play within the system. And if we get 2 yards, we get 2 yards. If we get 4, we get 4. But we're not gonna take unnecessary risk, but we are gonna take the strikes when we get them. That's exactly what that was the game plan, and it worked. It worked.
Hey, Lord, I'm gonna call it like it is. Hell, I'll take Dak over Matty Ice this past year.
No question about it. No question about it. There's a lot of teams. Listen, if y'all decide to let Dak go and he's not the answer, trust me, he'll be the answer for some other teams.
Yeah, like Reggie said, system. So maybe Kellen Moore's system is just not fitting for him.
You just don't like Kellen Moore. You hate Kellen Moore.
He's Jason Gary light. I just want to see something different.
Well, we'll definitely see how this all unfolds. But the 49ers move on, and they will be facing the Philadelphia Eagles. Listen, let me just have a true confession moment. There's a difference between hope and reality. I hoped we could pull this out because we've been running on smoke and mirrors all season long. But we as Giants fans knew we don't have a receiver. We don't have a true number one or a true number two. We just have a guy in Daniel Jones that has been able to raise his level of play to disguise it. And then we have a dynamic running back, maybe one of the best, if not the best in the league, that's able to offset some of the other stuff. So we've been able to kind of hide this offense for many, 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 many weeks. But, man, not against Philly. They exposed every weakness we had. We don't have linebackers. They exposed that because every running back and quarterback they had got to the second level. They just did whatever they wanted to do. And that's what a great team is supposed to do. They're supposed to beat a team with weaknesses down, and they did. So I'm thrilled at our season. We are way ahead of schedule. We don't have to go out and find a quarterback. We don't have to go find a running back. Now we just got to fill in the rest of the gaps, and we'll be, I think we'll be okay.
So Daniel Jones is your guy.
I got to say, man, if he keeps growing and see, here's the other thing. This is the first season that he's going to have the exact same coach and the exact same coordinators and everybody and the exact same system for 2 years in a row. He's never had the same system 2 years in a row. So I think he's our guy. I think because he didn't even play bad in this game. He had the one interception when he was pressing. But after that, he didn't play bad in this game. He did all the things that you want him to do, but there was nobody open. He dropped back no less than 6 times, 7 times, and there was literally nobody open. Because we don't have any receivers that can get separation. So, listen, we did. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not going to spend much time on that Eagles game. I'm not going to spend because they just faced a way better team. And
that's all it was.
Yeah, and let's be honest. And I really think y'all got a favorable matchup with Minnesota, and you ran into that monster. So, yeah. But I love the direction that you're going.
Yeah.
Well, could you put that back up?
I don't know if I agree with that. Now they're a good defense. They're not the 2000 Ravens. Like,
I mean, I get what he's saying. Just
I get what he's saying.
Yeah.
But they're a good defense. They're a hell of a defense. I don't know if they're the Ravens. You got to remember who was on that squad. That was kind of squad. So,
they are the top-rated defense.
Listen, they are amazing. Now, if they go out and bludgeon Philly, then you got to start saying, okay, this might be one of the all-time greats. Because
they just fly to the ball like no defense I ever like. I ain't gonna say ever seen. This year, they fly to the ball.
Got you. Yeah. No, they that part of there is amazing, and they come at you, man. They come at you, and if they get any kind of lead, they're gonna pin their ears back and come for you. So I get what he's saying. I can get on board with that.
Did y'all notice one thing San Francisco didn't do? They didn't blitz Dak much.
They didn't have to.
No,
they didn't need to.
They have to. Same thing with Philly. Philly didn't blitz us. Yeah. They didn't have to.
Right.
Yeah.
They knew they could get home with 4. And listen, the best defenses can get home with 4.
Yeah.
And to me, that's when you got a real solid defense. When you don't have to blitz. Cowboys got home with 4.
Yeah.
They did. Listen, the Cowboys defense is good.
Yeah.
They're good. They just need some help on that offensive side of the ball. So now there's a little bit more mystery, I think, in the AFC. And I'm gonna tell you something. This game kind of shocked me.
It didn't shock me.
It didn't shock you? It shocked me.
I told everybody who asked me, I said Cincinnati was gonna win this game.
Yeah, I didn't think they were gonna get out to the fast start like they did. That's my thing that got shocked. I didn't think they were gonna start that fast, and Buffalo was gonna start that slow.
Brother, Buffalo started slow. Buffalo didn't start.
Yeah. I think I underestimated the Bengals defense. I think that I didn't realize their defense was that good. Like they had the coordinator for the Bills really, really confused about what to do. And then once again, they exposed the Bills for what they are. The Bills can't run the ball.
Right.
They can't run the ball. But I'm gonna tell you something, and Reggie and I talked about this offline. The things you love about Josh Allen, are also the things you hate about Josh Allen. Josh Allen is phenomenally talented. He can make every throw, and he's got great touch and all that stuff. He can put it in windows that a lot of players couldn't dream about putting it in that window. And therein lies his biggest problem because he can do things and he knows he can do things and he thinks he can do those things all the time. And the truth is he can't. You can't throw into coverage with 3 people. You can't throw into cover 2s and nickel defenses. And you can't. You gotta learn to live or fight another day, or just take the check down and live to the next play. He don't want to do that. He want to hit the home run every single time, and that is his Achilles heel right now.
Do you think him and Dak have the same kind of mentality regarding that?
No.
Well, I mean, Dak thinks he can make those throws, but he really can't. But he's trying to throw into double coverage and stuff like that.
No, but that's not the same mentality. Thinking you can throw in it and being able to throw it is 2 different things.
Well, yeah.
Josh can throw it. He can throw it. And we've seen him do it. But that's the problem. Because we've seen him do it, because he's had some success with weaker defenses, he thinks he can do that with and you can't, bro. As the playoffs goes on, those windows shrink. And now all of a sudden, you can't make that pass. You can't squeeze that ball between a defender. You can't beat that cornerback like that. So you got to take the surefire, he's open, or you got to throw him open, or you just got to live to fight another day. Those are your only 3 options. And I think a lot of times he doesn't want to do that, and it comes to bite him in the behind. He's holding the ball too long. He's patting it too long. It's a blessing and a curse with Josh. And they ask him to do too much. That's my thought.
Well, also when your defensive anchor is not there as well, that's gonna present a problem as well too.
But that Von Miller thing was huge. That was big. Yeah.
Hey, I'm just gonna say Joe Burrow is that dude.
Oh man,
Joe Burrow. Yeah. Hey man, I tell you what, Joe Burrow's not cocky. He's confident,
as he should be.
Hey, bro, Joe Burrow. I don't even play football, but I can give you one snap. Whatever you want me to do, brother, you will motivate me to do it because Joe Burrow's one of them dudes that I would ride with him. Because he's something about his leadership. He has that kind of swag, like, hey man, I don't care who on the field. Oh, y'all want to sell tickets in Atlanta before we play? Oh yeah, I got something for y'all. See, he got that old school mentality. Hey, in basketball, okay, you want to talk Noah? Let's send him over here. Let me lay this screen on him. I love Joe Burrow, man. He's just that dude, man.
And then the other thing about him, he does everything Josh Allen does, but better. Yeah. But he's also patient enough to know, oh, I can't do that right now. I gotta wait.
Right.
I'll get him on the next one. But let me say this too. This is the thing that nobody want to say about Joe Burrow, but it's the truth. Mm-hmm. Joe Burrow, from college to now, has been blessed to have everything he needs. So he may not, he may be that good. He may not be good. I don't know, but he looks that good right now.
Hey, Lord, don't forget them first 2 years. He didn't have an O-line. That O-line was terrible last year.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. When Joe Burrow has everything he needs, maybe this is that. Let me ask this question. I'm just gonna throw it out there. If you replace Dak and Joe Burrow with everything that Joe Burrow has at his disposal, could Dak play at that same level?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so, man. It's something. No. It's something about the way the quarterback carries himself, and that because he knows, man. He's reading offense. It's something about the leadership in that young man that's like Chase saying, hey man, me and this dude finna ride till we 40, 50 years old. That's my quarterback.
Yeah.
So essentially what you're saying is, now think about what you just said. Because I said if you put Dak in that offense and switch, could Joe Burrow do?
Joe Burrow going to the Super Bowl
in Dallas?
In Dallas.
But here's the thing, though. Let's not forget, people are not, man, they O-line was so bad last year. And this cat almost won the Super Bowl with that O-line.
Right.
They were horrible. They probably had to, if they could have blocked 5 seconds, that last play of the game in the Super Bowl when that dude was wide open, we might be talking about Super Bowl champion Joe Burrow.
No, I agree. I agree with that, but I guess it also helps to have 3 of the top 20 receivers in the league and a top 10 running back to throw the ball to as well, and a top 5 or top 7 tight end. Like he's got
whatever you say, Lord. This dude is a NCAA champion. He's took. I mean, after ace, and let's don't forget the confidence it takes for after ACL injury. This kid tore his ACL his first year, his rookie year.
No. I'm not saying he's not everything that we're saying he is. I'm just playing devil's advocate a little bit and saying he is. While he is so great, he does have all of the pieces, like all of them. Like it is a little easier to be great when you have all the pieces too.
Well, I disagree with that because you think about Dak. I mean, you take besides Dak got an O-line, Dak got two pretty damn good running backs. He got a top.
Yeah, one good running back.
One and a half good running back.
No. You got a tandem there that y'all both can. Come on, man. Y'all know Zeke. Yeah, come on. Y'all got one.
Zeke got about 5 good runs a game on him.
Well, that's 5 more than some other teams have. That's 5 more.
Burrow's got Mixon and Piron, who are pretty good, running back.
Yeah, I don't think Dak has everything that Joe has.
Right.
Joe got everything. And that's not a knock. Listen, that's not a knock on him because that's what you're supposed to do. I'm not mad at Cincinnati for giving him.
I think Joe could win in Dallas, though.
Well, let me ask you a question, though. We're saying he has everything. What if he's making them what is Joe make? He's making them better.
I'm not saying he's not. I think my point is this: Joe at LSU was loaded. They were loaded all across that championship roster. They were loaded, and Joe did what he does, and they were great. Same thing now with this Cincinnati team. They are loaded, man, and he does what he does. Now, I'm not mad at that. I'm just saying it works because of the combination. He is that good, and they have that team.
Well,
it's not one without the other. Is what I'm saying.
What I'm saying, he's making other players great as well as they're making him good.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm saying the combination is great.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm not mad, and I'm not mad at that. Listen, they are good, man. They're gonna give the Chiefs all they can stand.
Yeah.
The Jags, God bless them. We all say they shouldn't have been there. They got there.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs are a hell of a team. This dude's out here on a high sprained ankle, jumping off one leg, throwing dimes into the end zone. I mean,
he's
back to home. Now, the question I have is well, we'll get to that in a minute because I want to switch up the program a little bit because we'll make the AFC prediction our last thing because we got to get to some other stuff that is kind of pressing in the conversation. This was a wild weekend. Let me just say this. From a sports perspective, there's a lot of wild stuff going on. And I don't know which is wilder. I don't know if the Ed Reed was or the Shannon Sharp was, but we'll start with the Ed Reed. I want to start by saying this. And for those who don't know this story, Ed Reed was supposed to be the next coach or the next hired football coach for Bethune-Cookman, an HBCU, following in the footsteps of his brethren Dion and Eddie George and those guys. And once he got there, he found out the truth about HBCUs and their administrations and all the stuff that goes on behind closed doors. And man, they could not get on the same page. And essentially over the weekend, they took their offer back. Now, there was some reports that were trying to say he decided he wasn't going to do it, but he came on and immediately squelched that and said, no, that's not true. I want to do it, but these guys are corrupt and they this and they that, and he called them out on some stuff. And I'll say this real quick, and then I'm gonna get off the stage because I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. My wife was very frustrated by that because she thought, well, he's abandoning those kids. And I said, whoa. I need to tell you about the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is that these administrators at some of these HBCUs have been milking these kids and milking these programs and milking these schools for years. And he wasn't wrong. Ed was not wrong. And I feel bad for saying it, but the problem is we can't change this problem if we never want to expose what it is. And that's one of the biggest problems at HBCU. So I want to get off the stage and let you guys, Reggie, I definitely want to hear what you got to say, brother. Jump in there and just, what are your thoughts, man?
Man, first of all, let's. I know I've heard that statement before about Deion. He abandoned these kids, and here's the thing with that. Y'all got to realize it's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business.
Yeah,
it's a business, and yeah, they're here to make change, but change has to be done the right way. You know, you can't just throw anything out there and expect this man to say, Ed Reed to say, hey, I'm going to do it no matter what y'all do. No. Like you said, it has to be some integrity in the situation. And Ed is pretty much saying, hey, man, if I'm going to take this job, we got to do it the right way. And we're going to do it with integrity. And I'm going to give you all I got for these kids, but I'm not going to put myself in a situation where there's no integrity. Because if there's no integrity, how can I help a kid in a situation where there's no integrity? Because at the end of the day, when you got Deion and Ed and a lot of these other things, number one, they set the example.
Yep.
A lot of time it's not about what you say, it's about what you do with these kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you dealing with kids, they look at you, you know, you'll get them to motivate, but they like, okay, man, you be good to your girlfriend and you do this right and do this whatever. Then they see you out cheating on your wife. What?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I see what Ed did. Ed said, hey, man, if I'm going to take this thing, it's time to do it the right way. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to do it the right way. How could I take a job to help some kids and everything is wrong? I'm hurting the kids more than I'm helping them.
Yeah.
That's my.
I mean, you listen. You said it all, brother. Go ahead, Chad.
Yeah, I mean, piggybacking off of y'all guys, man, you definitely have to do things decent and in order. Bethune-Cookman really messed this up because Ed Reed came in. He has the connections. He had the playbook from Deion Sanders of know what to do and how to go ahead and build a program. He had investors that I heard that big money investors that was willing to help his program and facilities and whatnot, and they messed that up pretty good. And I also saw a story from the university itself that there's a lot of things going on as far as the dorms, as far as the students, at the university and different things like that. So they really messed this up, and he shouldn't have necessarily made that video of what was going on. He should have kept that behind closed doors. But everything else, I think he was right on, and I think he was there to help and guide these young men. And it's just sad. I pray that he gets a position somewhere else where he can be able to affect the change and help. But I just think Bethune-Cookman just dropped the ball on everything that was going on at this point.
Well, here's one of the things that's disappointing about this whole thing. Do y'all know who the athletic director for Bethune-Cookman is?
Who's that?
Couldn't tell
It's
you.
Reggie Theus.
Whoa. I didn't know that.
Reggie Theus.
Wow.
And you would think somebody, I don't know Reggie Theus, but I've always assumed that he was a dude that was on the up and up and doing things the right way or whatever. And so for this to slip through his fingers is a little shocking.
Right.
Because you're like, really, Reggie? Like you?
Yeah.
That don't even make sense. But
yeah,
I'm gonna say this, man, and this is the reality. This is a hard situation because I don't know if you've ever seen Fisk. I don't know if you've ever seen Kentucky State. I don't know if you've ever seen FAMU or Morehouse or any of these schools, Howard. They don't look the best. UAPB, they don't look the best. But they have donors. They have people giving money. Correct me if I'm wrong, Reggie, but our guy that played here, played baseball here, that played professionally. You know what I'm talking about.
Torrey Hunter.
Torrey Hunter. Torrey's giving money to UAPB. And some of it is gone, I think, to help certain things, but they just got the new stadium a few years back. I'm just saying a lot of money flows through these HBCUs, and some of them don't look any different than what they used to. You could argue that Bill Cosby's maybe giving $250 million to HBCUs, and some of them don't look any different than they did, you know. So
is there somewhere?
Let's have a real conversation.
Yeah, I was about to say, is there somewhere or something that they show somebody the allotment of where everything's going? Is there something that?
Not if you're private.
Okay.
And a lot of HBCUs are private. They are not state funded. So they don't have to answer to anybody. They don't have to open up their books. And guess what? Technically, they're a nonprofit.
Somebody's profiting.
I'm just saying, if in education, there's some conversations that we're not having. And if we want to really understand why things are the way they are, the old saying is follow the money. So I'll leave it at that. But I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed for those kids. It's tough. But that wasn't the wildest thing that went on this weekend. Wildest thing that possibly went on this weekend was probably Friday night during the Memphis Grizzlies Lakers game, where at close to halftime, the Grizzlies got stopped on a play at the end of halftime, and Dylan Brooks looked over at the side or heard, I guess, Shannon Sharp saying something on the sideline. From what I've researched, I've heard that Shannon was saying something about you too little in relation to something LeBron was doing or a play or whatever the play was. And Dylan Brooks told him to shut the F up and sit down. And they got into a back and forth. And then Ja Morant got involved into that back and forth. And then Steven Adams got involved in that back and forth. And then T. Morant, Ja Morant's father, got into that back and forth. And finally, they escorted Shannon Sharp into the tunnel to calm him down and then allowed him to come back to his seat. Now, to be fair to the story, Shannon got on what's the show?
Undisputed
today, and gave what I thought was the blueprint apology for all apologies. Like when you screw up, that's the kind of apology you should be giving. Like don't try to make excuses for it. Don't try to justify your actions. Just apologize. Just apologize, and then we can all move on. And that's exactly what he did. So I want to give him credit for that. But I do want to ask you guys, do you think Shannon handled the entire situation right?
Well, let's not talk about Shannon. This is questions about Shannon. Let's not only talk about Shannon. What's the player from the Memphis Grizzlies?
Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks. So you tell me this. In all the NBA games that you play in, all the games you play in, the fans say certain things. You too small. You can't handle him. Give him the biz, LeBron. Do this, do that. You pay him no attention at all. It was because it came from Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
If it came from us three, Dylan wouldn't have paid us any attention at all.
That's interesting. That's an interesting take.
That came from Shannon. Since it came from Shannon, he had to say, from what I'm understanding, shut the F up or F you or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, and like you said, I love Shannon. That's my dude because he apologized. That set him off. And you when somebody tells you that, you kind of that ain't gonna be the most funnest thing to hear from somebody without you kind of like, hey man, you shut the, you know what I'm saying? So, but like Shannon said, he should have handled it a different way, and I'm in totally agreement, because when you're in a certain spotlight, when you have people looking, when you have kids looking up to you, and you're that role model, and Shannon he's told the truth a lot about a lot of things. You got to handle it a better way. And I love the way what he said earlier. He apologized from the Lakers organization to the Memphis organization. He even apologized to Dylan Brooks and all the players and the Lakers players, LeBron, because I'm in totally agree. He felt like he shouldn't have caused that scene because it was about a basketball game rather than about Shannon in a disagreement with Dylan Brooks and the rest of the Memphis Grizzlies. So, yes, he did handle the situation wrong. Sometimes you got to let it ride, but I can understand sometimes, hey, man, we all make mistakes. Here's the problem with media. Everybody act like they can't, nobody makes mistakes. And if you make a mistake, you got to cream a person. Well, that's a mistake that, we make mistakes that, there's our heavy mistakes, but that mistake right there wasn't that heavy. Let's be honest. It wasn't that heavy.
Yeah.
And we all didn't, something all of us didn't, somebody that said something to us and we didn't pop back off. Heck, the other day, hey, our wife just said something to us and we'd be like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? And we didn't popped off, but then again, we think about it. My bad, sweetie. I should have said that.
Right.
I was wrong. And that's pretty much what happened. He said, hey, I shouldn't have, the emotions got a hold of me then. So, yeah, but we think about Dylan Brooks, he needs to apologize, because I really feel like if it was anybody else besides Shannon that said, hey, man, you too small, you wouldn't have went cussing at nobody in the stands. Come on, man. Let's keep it real today. Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I think it's just, man, it was more than what it was made out to be. It was nothing but a little liquor and testosterone, man. That's all. When the liquor and testosterone.
Said he only had a Sprite.
Man, he had.
That's
man.
what he said. I'm just going by what he said.
Uncle Shay had something in there. I know T. Morant had probably some Kavasi or something. I don't know.
Right.
But man, people talk to players all the time. It's just like you said. It was because it was Shannon Sharp, and it's just it wasn't really anything. I don't necessarily. I mean, he apologized, but I don't necessarily think he, should have apologized. But I get the corporate side of that. But I mean, it's just banter between fans and players. So I mean,
let me say this: this wasn't banter to me between fans and players, because if this had been a banter between fans and players, Shannon Sharp wouldn't have got back in that game.
Yeah.
So they recognize who Shannon is.
Yeah.
And they diffused it in a way that was honorable to his status. And that was the only thing that kept him there. So so let's be clear about that. And that goes back to what
fans, I guess.
Right. And that's what that goes back to. But even beyond celebrity fan, it's a celebrity media person, which goes back to what Reggie said. If Dylan has a problem with Shannon Sharp, and that's fine. I mean, if you got a problem with it, that's fine. But let's not act like this was all Shannon's fault.
Right.
Escalated this to a place it didn't really have to go. And in the name of having my teammates back, so did Ja Morant, so did Steven Adams. It didn't have to be that. Because Steven Adams and Ja Morant could have just grabbed Dylan Brooks and said, bruh, leave that alone. Let's go to the locker room. Let's figure out how we're gonna win this game. That's the most important thing. But they don't like that Shannon Sharp gets on TV every day and is a diehard Laker fan.
Right.
So that's that. So I get it. I get the testosterone of it all. It's dumb. We as black men look stupid today because we out here doing just dumb stuff. But that's the reality of the circumstances that we watch.
Can I have a little fun with this situation? A little laughter. I'm gonna have a little fun and laughter with this. Dylan, you didn't want none of Shay. You didn't want none of that, brother.
See, I've heard mixed things. I've heard some people say, "I don't know, man. I think that young buck would have got Shay. I'm like,
oh
man.
boy, Shay, that's
I don't know about that.
Hey, it ain't just Shay ain't just strong because of the weight. Shay got that country in him.
Now, I will say this: that Steven Adams Shay looked a little more.
Yeah.
Now, we just talking about Dylan though. We ain't Dylan.
That Steven Adams problem is definitely
that John Morant, that T Morant. None of them want to smoke it off.
No, they ain't want that. They ain't want that.
And I even noticed in Shay's comments, he said Dylan Brooks didn't want it, and John Morant didn't want it, T Morant definitely didn't want it. He didn't mention Steven Adams. and that's a good thing, sir.
Don't let that man take off that tight sweater. It's gonna be some problems.
Yeah. So it would have been interesting, but
it looked like he was about to bust out those sweaters. That joke was so swole.
But I'll say this: I'm glad it did not escalate to something worse, and that's the best part of it. I want to go back to something that one of our Five Nations said, and it's an interesting comment. Shout out to Uncle Benny who made the comment, and he said because it comes up Facebook user, but it's really Uncle Benny. He said HBCUs have been under-resourced for years. That is an understatement. Ed should have known that before taking the job, but he sounds like he didn't do his research. Where he erred was putting the school on blast on the internet, and the language he used was unprofessional and unacceptable. So I rarely disagree with Uncle Benny, but I'm going to disagree with him here. Because the truth is, Ed did know what he was getting into. He had called Deion. They had talked extensively. He understood exactly how under-resourced and underserved that they were. And I know this from having done the research and listened to some of the interviews that Ed has talked about and the conversations that he and Deion have had. So they said, I absolutely knew what I was getting into. He said, what I did not want them to do was to handle it, some of the stuff behind the scenes, the way that they were handling it. So I think that is part of the bigger problem, because some of these HBCUs they're not above board with the way they spend their money. And they don't have to be. They're private institutions. They don't have to tell you where all the bonuses go and what percentage of the donations went to administration. They don't have to tell you none of that. But therein lies the problem. Because how can I ask Shaq and Master P and all these other celebrities that were saying they were going to donate to Bethune-Cookman, how can I ask them to do that and they don't know where their money's going? That's not fair. So I think therein lies the problem I'm having with what Bethune-Cookman did. I think there was a lack of transparency from the start. So that's just my humble opinion, which brings us to the last question, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be an AFC NFC championship game this weekend. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to take on the Cincinnati Bengals in Kansas City. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to take on the San Francisco 49ers in Philadelphia. Who wins?
Wow. I'm just gonna say my AFC first.
Okay.
Because that high ankle sprain.
I know, man.
And you don't have no mobility, and you're not gonna be playing against Jacksonville. And that's huge. That is huge. So I'm going and Joe Cool, I'm going with Cincinnati in the AFC.
Well, that's hard to argue against. If it wasn't for that high ankle sprain,
right,
I might go a different way, man. But you're not getting over a high ankle sprain in 7 days. You're just not. And they're gonna try to shoot it up and numb it so he can move. But even then, how much mobility is he really gonna have? I'm gonna say Cincinnati too in a close one. But man, I hate that. I hate we're not gonna get a straight up fight. But I think you're right, Reggie. That high ankle sprain is gonna be.
And let's be honest. Even without the high ankle sprain, it's going to be to me. It's still
right. It was going to still be hard. I agree, 100%.
Be a close one. Yeah.
100%. I definitely on board with you guys. Like Reggie said earlier, the way that Cincinnati's defense is playing, and then they know they got a wounded dog out there. They're gonna be trying to get after him. So Cincinnati is who I got going.
All right, so we got Cincinnati going to play.
Back to what Reggie said about that defense, man. I'm going San Francisco. I think Purdy can manage the game enough, and that defense can, close it out.
The one thing that we were not able to do in that game, in our game, was to get to the quarterback to test that shoulder, which is the one thing I think San Francisco will be able to do. Give me San Francisco by 3.
Wow. Guess what? I'm in total agreement with you. I think San Francisco is going to win this thing by 3. It's going to be a close one. And I really think that defense, only because of San Francisco defense, and I don't think Philly has faced anyone like San Francisco all year as well, too. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a chess game. Like we talked about Dak able to read the defense. We're going to say the same thing about Philly's quarterback. Jalen, are you going to be able to see the chess game that's going to be going on? Because Shanahan is going to – not Shanahan. What's the defense coordinator for San Francisco?
Jimmy
Ryan, yeah.
Yes. He's going to have that defense playing mind games. San Francisco by 3.
And I don't think the running lanes for him are going to be there. I just don't.
Yeah.
And I don't think he should run. If I'm being honest, I don't think it's wise for him to run because once you're a runner, all bets are off. And San Francisco is going to test that shoulder.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a tough game, man. So we're saying, it sounds like we're saying Bengals, 49ers, a rematch of the 1982 Super Bowl.
With the Icky Shuffle?
With the Icky, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Crazy as it might sound, we coming back to that. Bengals, 49ers, they got some history playing each other. Should be an interesting game, man. We'll get back to, we did have some breaking news today. The Lakers pull off the first trade of the year with Rui Hachimura going to the Lakers for 3 second-round picks and Kendrick Nunn.
Hey, man, do y'all have another draft pick left?
I was just going to say, Reggie.
What about them 2027 draft pick? I think still got it.
We still got the 2 first. At this point, I guess
that's it.
We'll be good. We'll draft again in 2030, I guess. I don't know. It's wild to think that that's where we are.
I'm just saying if I'm not trading it, and I'm gonna leave it alone. I know we're closing. I'm not trading another pick unless it guaranteed me I was gonna win that championship this year.
Well, listen, I like the player a lot.
Oh yeah.
I like the player a whole lot.
3-and-D person that you were looking for.
It's the 3-and-D person we were looking for. So I like that. I just hate that we just keep. Oh my God, we just
Magic Johnson. Where are you?
Y'all don't use people in the draft. Y'all don't use the draft picks really like that anyway. So I mean,
well, we tell me they doing it now. We ain't got none.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal unless you want to pull up a major trade.
Hey, LeBron gonna be 55 by the time they get another first round pick.
LeBron, listen, we can't let LeBron leave now. We got to have him play till he's 50 because we ain't got no draft picks. So anyway, all right, that was the trade that went down. By the way, are y'all curious? We'll get into this another time, but LeBron only 224 points away from breaking the all-time points record. That's bananas.
That could be like 6 games.
It could be. I'll just say this real quick. I know we're gonna get back into this later, but man, that's impressive, man.
Oh yeah,
just the longevity of that because you got to stay a while to get that record.
Oh yeah.
You got to stay a while to get that record. So that's impressive. But we'll get to that here in the future. We'll have plenty of time to talk about. Who y'all shouting out this week, man?
Who's my shout out?
I'll give a corporate shout out to Peyton Hillis, who is home now, recovering. Shout out to him, man. That's awesome. Amazing stuff. Okay, now we can go to individual.
I'm just shouting out. Hey, man, let's have just we have so much negative stuff that goes on in the world in the past, man. Let's turn this thing around, man, and keep this thing positive with love, man. Let's start doing it. You know, we need to do more of that, man. Instead of hating on everybody and knocking everybody for every little mistake. We all make mistakes, man. Hey, I can't call nobody else out without looking at my own closet myself, brother. So, man, that's what I got. But I love you guys, man.
Hey, love you too, big bro.
Love you too.
For sure.
What shout outs I have? Well, I definitely want to piggyback on that Peyton Hillis shout out. That's definitely a good shout out. Definitely he's good and hopefully speedy recovery. Also, Damar Hamlin, he was at the games. Definitely shout out his speedy recovery as well. My little brother's birthday is today, so definitely shout him out.
Shout out, little bro, little bro.
Yeah. And shout out to you guys, man. Appreciate y'all. Each and every week, man. So definitely shout out to you guys and y'all's family. So that's all I got right now, man.
Always shouting out the Five Nation. Always shouting you guys out. You my brothers. I love you all to death. I also want to. I had a shout out that I want. Well, not a shout out, but I want to send my thoughts and prayers to those who were in those mass shootings. We had a couple of different shootings this weekend that, I agree with you, Reggie, man. There's so much going on in the world right now, so much negativity. That's one of the reasons why I like doing the Five, because it gives us a chance to bring and put a little bit of positivity and fun in the world. So shout out to all the people at Monterey Park. Hopefully some good things we can find some healing in the midst of all that madness. And then I don't know. I guess that's pretty much it for me. I don't have any other shout outs that I want to give other than to say shout out to the squad. What a year. What a year. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of just the effort and the turnaround. We are way ahead of schedule. I did not think, if y'all asked me at the beginning of the season, I think I said, hey, if we go 6-10, I am thrilled.
Man, so you didn't even want Daniel Jones there.
And I wasn't even, listen, I was not on listen, I can say I was not on board with Daniel Jones. And they have turned me around, man.
And now ain't sound like T.O. with Tony Romo. That's
my quarterback. Hey, that's my quarterback.
Until somebody else become available.
No, you know what? No, I think I'm good, man. I watched that dude for 17 games turn into the quarterback that he is. Yeah. And he proved to me that he can get better. Oh, and that's all you want your quarterback to do, is to get better every year. And I think he's on the right trajectory. So I'm
drafting a wide receiver in the first round.
I'll have to answer that tonight. So I'm not going to. But I've been looking. So there you go. I've been looking. So all right, y'all. Listen. All love to everybody out there. We appreciate y'all for the continued support. Keep doing that, man. We got a lot of great things coming down the pike. Until then, that's Chad Major. That's Reggie Love. I'm Lloyd Spence. We out.
Five will get you 10 when you're plugging in with the there's no mystery. Let's make history with the five. Oh, the strongest. 2 and 3. Add 1 more plus me and do the 5. Yeah. Keep it on the floor.